What's up, guys? Welcome back. Let me go ahead and dust you off real quick. There we go. Yeah, looking way better now. Let's just dive right into the charts. Today is the 23rd of February. I hate pronouncing that month in English. I don't know, man. It's weird, like a weird silent R thing going on there. Yeah, let's dive in. I don't know how to tell you this, how to explain this right, but as you know, I was publicly bearish crypto. I wasn't bearish per se. I was just cautious, and caution in crypto, especially if you're well, not necessarily overexposed, but if you're as exposed as you want to be. If I get cautious in crypto, I think it is always better to be safe than sorry. I know that is a cliche, but it's true. The whole staircase up, elevator down thing. Remember, we talked about that. So I sold most of my crypto. I sold actually almost all my crypto publicly a few months ago, and then I don't know when I did that, but I said I think Nvidia was topping, which was the top for now still, and I haven't changed my mind on that. I'm getting generally bearish now. I'm still as exposed to equities as I was last week. Actually, I'm even more exposed because I've started buying a lot of Hong Kong stocks. I've bought the China index. Just in case if you're wondering, by the way, it's pretty hard. It's kind of a niche index, right? The China A50 index. The China A50 index is an index that contains the mainland China stocks. So it's not the Alibaba and the Tencents and the JD and Baidu basket. So not. I mean, there's volume there, obviously, and many people buy it, but many brokers don't really offer a good solution unless you can trade futures, which you can do, of course, but not everybody wants to or knows how to. And on most brokers, you can't trade the which one is it? There's a couple of products on there, but they don't have the KID. So it's a key information. I think it's key information document, which Americans don't need, so they don't create them, so you don't have them. So then you cannot trade those products on brokers in Europe, in Holland, in my case. So if you want to get exposure to Chinese mainland stocks and you live in the Netherlands, as I know some of you do, I think your best option is this one, the XCS6. Most brokers offer this. It is a product. I think it is from Luxembourg. You can buy it on the Milan Stock Exchange, London. I think it's on the German exchange as well. So this is actually a very good option to get exposure to Chinese stocks. I don't know the specifics. I think it's a mix of mainland stocks and I think as well the technology stocks and maybe also even a mix of Hong Kong stocks. But I do think this is your best option, and I do think getting involved in Chinese stocks is the play for now. But anyway, back to my main spiel. I don't know. I'm just getting a little bearish. U.S. equity, U.S. markets, crypto as well. Even though Bitcoin hasn't really correlated one-on-one with, say, the Nasdaq for the last few months, where we've made new highs almost consistently, and Bitcoin is once again just consolidating the same way we did from March to November 2024, which was a consolidation of like 7 months. Here as well, we started consolidating in November 2024. Jesus, that was That was the same month, man. Christ, I didn't even realize that. We, we went up for like, God damn, we went up for like 20 days, man. Well, 3 weeks feels like a very long time in crypto, right? So I guess that is true. I'll just use that in my defense. But so yeah, we've been consolidating since November again. So not much has been going on. And even though I like this price action that's developing over here, because it's getting really, really, really tight. I'm not going to make silly jokes about price action being tight, but this is real tight. It's real tight, combined with the declining volume that almost always leads to aggressive price action. I was betting on this going up, and I still have my buy orders in right over here. I have a few buy stop orders. I think here as well. No, I don't think I do actually have them here, this high and this high. So I'm waiting for those to trigger. If we get it, then hopefully consolidate around the highs, then get to add to the position and then trade it up. But I don't know. Markets took a pretty ugly turn last week. I am actually short the Dow. And I'm short Solana as well. Why Solana? Just because it's just a good technical short. I do, and in case you're wondering, why not just short the weakest crypto assets, the weakest coins? Because the markets are so extremely correlated, right? I mean, if Bitcoin goes down, everything is going to go down. There's hardly ever a time where the market is just generally bearish, and people are selling aggressively. There's almost no way there's like a few coins that are going to go up, right? Unless you're talking about the actual garbage on Pump Fund and stuff. So I could have gone with a weaker coin, and I do absolutely agree with that. But I just really like this technical setup on Solana, because we got the channel here. It was a downward sloping channel, which started in March 2024. We got the support levels here. We got the resistance levels here, right? Then we break through, retested it as support. It acts as support. Retested as support again. It acts as support. Again and again. So that's 4 times we tested it as support, which is significant. I do usually want to see at least 3 touches before I consider a support or resistance level significant. And as you can see now, we have re-entered the channel, although not convincingly yet. It is still we're still back into the channel, and as you can see, it tried to get below here, so multiple days, but failed to do so. What it did do though is it closed through the horizontal level, which are all these lows. Now it didn't really close lower than the most extreme low over here. But it's one of the lowest closes we had for a long time. Of course, we have this low here as well, and you could position if we break through here, which you could do, which is a safer bet. But I don't know. Markets are just looking heavy, and we may really bounce up, to 264 in a single candle. That could work. That could happen. If you're hearing something in the background, that's my dog dreaming, which is really, really cute. And if you can't hear it, well, very unlucky. In any case, I'm going to be in this short, and I'm going to target at least 109. And if I'm feeling lucky, I'm going to target the downsloping trend line, which is a very low target, indeed. We're looking anywhere between, depending on the speed at which we're going to get it. It's usually pretty fast in crypto, but I am looking at anywhere from like 85 all the way down to 80. So this is going to be my buyback area over here. So we'll see if we get it. If we don't get it, no worries at all. I have a few other crypto setups that I like on the long side. I like Tau, for instance. The stronger charts I'm looking at, or the charts I consider to be strong, are the ones where we have the capitulation candle from the 3rd of this month. And a lot of charts put this candle in red. It's a pretty big candle. That's what she said, right? Anyway, this is a candle of a bounce of 73%. Fuck me. If you're looking at this chart, it looks like a 1% candle, right? But it's actually a 73% candle, which is ridiculous, man. God Christ. 76 even. Anyway, so a lot of charts have this candle over here, which also is a hammer, which also is a hammer at previous lows, which is even more important. But the strength I get from the fact that the high of the hammer has been reclaimed. If you go to Ethereum, for instance, which has been one of the weaker coins for the last 7,000 years, you get this massive candle as well, right? It's a really big candle as well, over 40% on ETH, but the high hasn't been reclaimed yet. So to me, this market is weaker than a market like Tau, for instance. What I do want to see, though, is this high reclaimed first. These highs, if we manage to climb above, I will look to be a buyer of some sort of retest or some sort of price action that will let me get long above this level here. We could get a consolidation forming in the form of a triangle, a symmetrical triangle. We could get a ascending triangle set up over here. Something's got to set up for me to take the trade. So we'll see if we get it. If we don't, there's going to be plenty of other options. Litecoin is a market I also like. It's one of the better looking markets in my opinion. Because we get the, it's kind of a rectangle. You could also call it a triangle, but I would call this a rectangle, we get the breakout out of the rectangle, which is good, which is nice, but we've had so many breakouts out of this level, out of this chart pattern, that I don't consider it to be enough anymore. What we do see, however, is just like I just explained to you in the Tau chart, we have a consolidation above the chart pattern in the form of a triangle in this case. If we manage to break out of the triangle and out of the swing high over here, I am definitely going to be a buyer of Litecoin, hopefully up until 230. But we're gonna need a lot of buyers stepping in. We're gonna need a lot of buy pressure coming in, and I just don't see that happening right now. Wu is one of the other markets, where we are close to reclaiming the high of the hammer candle. The reason I like Wu is because we took out the lows. This is a massive level. I don't think it's ever been below this level. So if this isn't support, and it's not going to hold as support, it's going to be the first time that it's traded publicly on their own exchange. And I think, I don't know, maybe it has traded somewhere else before that, but I don't think so. That would be strange. Maybe they traded it on a decentralized exchange. That could be the case. I'm not sure. But I think it's safe to consider this to be the all-time low, which is still acting as support. So if we get to reclaim important levels over here, you are getting in at a very good price. On the other hand, there's markets that are just like Wu on the at the range lows. If they break below, we're gonna get really good shorting opportunities, I think, because it's basically going to be price discovery to the downside. Another market would be Aptos, APT. At the range lows. We have 1 inch at the range lows. So many markets are just a lot of markets are at range lows right now. X's, range lows. So charts in crypto are looking so freaking bad. They're looking so terrible, so bearish. People are bearish. All the traders, all the crypto traders, they're silent. You don't hear anything. They're not giving you any setups, nothing whatsoever. They're just waiting it out, which is good. So that's really bearish, and it's almost so bearish that I think we may be at a bottom. But then again, we have equities, we have traditional markets. I don't know, man. It's just it's a difficult spot right now, in my opinion. HBAR, one of the stronger markets, also down almost 50%. So there's a few things that are making me bearish, and I'm all over the place. I apologize. We have the really, really ugly reversals, which you could consider to be a failed breakout. Because if you take the NASDAQ, we get the rectangle, we get the possible breakout, but then it really, really fails really bad. What's also really ugly, I think, is the fact that the Russell 2000 has closed below the 200-day moving average for the first time. It's traded below the 200-day moving average for the first time since November 2023. Right? It's not 24, 2023. That is a long time. It's only slightly below. So does that mean we're in an immediate bear market? It's not. But again, it's the first time since a very long time we've traded below, I think, the most important long-term moving average there is, which most people use to gauge. I don't know, man. What's the pronunciation on that? To get an idea of where we are, are we bearish? Are we bullish? Market structure is still intact, kind of. But then again, you also have the channel, the channel we've been in since I think we started here, November 2023. The high in, and we've also broken below that and closed below that. If we get a close below, even this low here, but even worse, this low here, I think we're going to see, much, much lower prices. As I've said, I'm short the Dow since Friday. It's also looking pretty bad. Get the obvious consolidation here. I was looking for this to, break up to the upside, obviously. But just really, really fails to do so. This is trading still way above the 200-day moving average. So we'll see if that turns into support. So that'll be my first. It's not going to be my first target, but it is a price I'm going to watch. But my first target is the low over here. Then we have yields. So just a very general overview. There's an inverse correlation between bond prices and their interest rates, right? So when bond prices go up, I wanted to draw an arrow. When prices go up, interest rates on those bonds go down. So yeah, that does indeed mean that investors are willing to pay a higher price for lower yields. Anything basically that provides safety, because bonds do offer safety. They're very, 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 very low risk investments. And the T-notes, in this case, the 2-year notes, it does seem to be bottoming to me. This could potentially be a bottoming structure. So I'm waiting for this to break through this horizontal here, which would also mean it would break out of a descending triangle. And a descending triangle is usually a bearish continuation pattern, right? So you would expect and hope, which would be bullish for risk assets, that somewhere this turns into resistance and this trades back down. And then we get the completion of the descending triangle and a continuation of lower prices. If this fails, though, it's going to be a descending triangle failure. And then I do think we're going to see much higher prices on bonds, which means people are buying the shit out of them, which you can see here as well. Very, very high volume coming in, almost double the average. Actually, it's not almost double the average. It is way more than double the average, right? Because this was a 2.12 million Jesus Christ. And if this is going to break out, I think we're going to see much higher prices, right? You know, it means people are buying the shit out of them, which you can tell by the volume that came in on last Friday. If you look at the average volume and if you look at the volume we've had over here, it's more than double the average volume. That is a very significant sign, and I do think it is something to be worried about if you're exposed and possibly maybe overexposed to stocks, to crypto. So yeah, just keep that in mind. There are more reasons to be bearish, but I think this is enough. Just very basic. The stuff that's worked for the last 2 years, the setups that worked for the last 2 years, are kind of failing more often now in equities. Breakouts are failing more often. I do feel volume is drying up on a lot of these stocks. You know, you got the popular stocks like Walmart, like Palantir. They've really fuck me, man. I have so many freaking lists. Palantir, you know, is going down, man. It's going down significantly. It's not below the 50-day moving average yet. It's not even close to the 200-day moving average yet. But the short-term averages have been broken. So yeah, and there's way more stocks that have performed really well that are now just kind of drying up, right? And the buyers aren't really stepping in. Maybe that a lot of these investors are looking for opportunities overseas. That could be the case as well. But yeah, I just wanted to warn you in general, and I do think you should be on the lookout for more aggressive selling the week ahead. I'm still long Canadian dollar and Australian dollar, so that is basically a short dollar US dollar trade. I have a 50% position both in Canadian dollar and Australian dollar. And they started off pretty good, especially this breakout here on the Aussie dollar. But yeah, we got a reversal as well. So the dollar has been gaining back some strength on Friday. I went over Solana, went over US 30, the Dow Jones. I've showed you this product. 1 too long. This is the cash contract. So I am only long the Australian dollar on futures, but not the cash with the spot market yet. I'm going to wait for because as of right now, this is pretty much a bearish retest of this huge symmetrical triangle that I shorted back when this occurred. December of last year. Yeah, so what I've just said, it's a bearish retest of the underside of the lower side of the triangle. If we get if we re-enter the channel, if we re-enter the triangle, I will be looking to play this long on the spot market as well. Baba was an incredible trade, man. It was a very good trade, and I fucking closed this because of earnings, and I will do that every single time. I'll make the same decision every single time. But yeah, you know, it went up 12% after. Just really fucking annoying because it was a pretty big position. But yeah, that's you know, you can't do shit about it. It's always, I think it's always a better decision to cut a trade unless you have a really big profit cushion. I think it's always better to cut the trade, or at least really tighten your. Well, you can tighten your stop, but you're gonna get a huge gap down, right? And this went up so much, and it is pretty overextended to me. I was just worried that if earnings were even slightly negative, we were just gonna nuke like 35%, right? And I was not gonna give back all those profits just to be right. But I'm now looking to re-enter this trade. We got to get some sort of consolidation forming that tightens up. Triangle continuation pattern. We can get a flag. We can get a pennant. You know, pennant. We can get all sorts of continuation patterns forming before I decide to step back in. You could also trade moving averages, like the 10-week moving average, but it's way down there. 20-day moving average, you know. It's 20, 50, and 100, 200, I think. I disabled money. I disabled the 100. So the 20, 50, and 200-day moving averages are also way down there. So I do think we're going to get a significant pullback, either this week or the next. But I'm betting on this week. You know, Bitcoin went over this, just waiting it out. I was long the S&P as well at the break of this trend line. Well, it's not really a trend line, but it is a diagonal line. I bought the first part of the position. I wanted to add to the position at the breakout, but didn't get it, unfortunately. I'm not really looking to long this market anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and remove it. Pound Swiss franc. I think this is a beautiful chart, man. It's a really nice chart. Still waiting for the daily confirmation through this level. This stop is irrelevant right now, so I'm just waiting for this to play out. I think this will be a beautiful trade if we get it. You can trade this both ways. That's the beauty of a rectangle. If we do trade down all the way, then I'll be a short, a seller with a target here somewhere. Pound dollar, ascending triangle forming. It's kind of an ascending triangle. It's kind of a inverse head and shoulder. But I'm not taking this trade because I'm already long 2 other currencies against the dollar. So I'm not going to take on more risk, because if the dollar does decide to just go parabolic, I'm going to be an idiot, and I'm going to be at a loss on all those trades. Hong Kong, beautiful trade. This was a very nice trade, you know, very clean, rectangle, got the breakout, just went all the way up to target. Stop loss, you know, didn't even get close to my stop. It's just a really nice trade. And I'm so interested in this market because I think it is a way to go. It really has a way to go. Fuck me. Japan. I've went over this already many times. It's still doing fuck all. Coffee was a really nice trade as well. I'm out of this trade. I got stopped down. The reason I went long, I think I went over this already, but it's a huge multi-decade rectangle forming, which you really can't trade as is. But we got the breakout through this massive resistance level. We get the consolidation forming. We get a cup forming. You can't trade cups, cups without handles. It's just a rounded pattern. And what I then do is I buy the break of the previous high, which I did. Went up beautifully, and I got out. I'm not sure where anymore. It's been a while now. But I think I got stopped out here somewhere. Possibly. Yeah, actually I didn't. I got stopped out here on this day. Below the 8-day moving average. The close below the 8-day moving average. So yeah, that was a really nice trade. Very good trade. I did buy fucking Sturdy, which is a low cap altcoin, which I do really like. But again, if crypto and risk assets are going to go down, this is just going to go down as well. So I did get 2 entries, which you can see here. So I have a full position on right now. But it's not looking great. It's really, it did act as a very nice level. Both were naked levels, which I prefer. It was at 200-day moving average as well. All the moving average tightening up over here. You do want to see the lower time frame, the faster moving averages. You want to see them above the slower moving average, which you currently are seeing, which is good, which is positive, but this can turn really quick. My initial stop was at 120. I'm going to move that stop up after this video and put it on 133.5. I don't want to see it go down there again, which it probably will, but then I'll just sell the position. Christ, it's a 30% drop. I thought it was like an 8% drop. So yeah, that is my Sturdy position, and currently my only crypto position that is on the long side. I see stuff like this, man. This is just a really ugly chart, and I know, it's pretty difficult to be bearish, because you're going to be wrong statistically almost always. In almost all cases, you're going to be wrong if you're bearish. And we've had so many days and so many cases, right, when where we were told that the bull market was going to end. We had the tariffs, we had DeepSeek, we had a few things, we had a bunch of things, and every time it was like, yeah, this is the end of the bull market, this is the end of the bull market, and then it never was, right? It never was. No, man. Sometimes, I don't know. Sometimes it's just difficult to explain. You can just feel it. You can just feel it in the air, right? But I may be completely wrong. I kind of hope I'm wrong, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm just being really cautious right now. What I like about this trade, by the way, is the double bottom, a huge double bottom, very clean. Just in case, you didn't see these fucking curves over here, I'm just gonna draw more circles for you in case you're either blind or... Anyway, yeah, we get the double bottom, and then we have the neckline over here. If we get a close above this level here, man, that's gonna be nuts. I think that's gonna be a really good trade. Dollar Swiss is very... it's not really volatile, but you can get a pretty good trade out of this. So I'm still watching that. I'm still watching this one as well, but I've went over that trade 1,000 times already. Covered this already as well. Covered these as well on a few other videos. Still really like this Euro Yen short. We Got a break here, breakdown here, which was confirmed, but then we bounced back up, so it kind of was a bear trap. So now I'm waiting for this extreme low to break before re-entering on the short side. Yeah, and then we have 1,000 stocks, man. There's a million stocks I'm looking at right now. I'm not going to go over all of these. If you want to look at them, just look at this list, screenshot the list. And I do think you should really be looking at China right now. So these are the China's 10, what they call them, right? You have the US Magnificent 7, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of the Chinese stocks, which you should really, really take a look at. Well, for instance, this 10-cent market, it's a beautiful, again, the rounded cup, right? And then you just long the previous high, and then you sit it out, man. Then you just sit it out, because this can run real bad. And Chinese stocks are way more volatile than American stocks, so do keep that in mind. Stocks can trade like 20% a day, no problem. Look at these fucking charts, man. It's really insane. Look at this thing. I'm not in this market. I am interested in this market, but it's not going to give you a good entry probably. This is just beautiful, man. Look at this high over here, January 2021, and it just blasts through it. Holy shit. BYD, another excellent chart. It looks really, really good. It's a very, very wide range, which can be a sign of an actual top, right? A distribution top. This range is huge, man. It's 90%. So I wasn't sure about this trade, but then we just fucking broke through it like it was no problem at all. BYD is just doing great. There's more and more BYD showing up everywhere, all over Europe. Their new models are freaking insane. They're looking so good, and they're cheap as hell compared to other electric vehicles. So I think they're going to do really, really well. I think this is going to run up way higher. This is almost nearing my target. Without me. JD is performing less than companies like Alibaba, but I'm waiting for a cup with handle to form. A cup with handle is almost always a continuation pattern, but they do sometimes show up as a bottoming pattern. So you can try and trade that, which I am doing now. I would possibly be interested in positioning already when we break through this structure here, get a convincing close, and then add to the position when we get a convincing close above 47.82. And as for targets on this, I think you could really go for this, man. I honestly think you can just go for this. I don't think that's crazy at all. It's a 56% gain. So let's just go for it. Then we have NetEase. Again, it's so freaking volatile, man. It's very hard to trade. Just like with BYD, you could potentially look at this as a distribution top, because it's so wide, it's so loose. But I really would not be surprised if this just breaks to the upside as well. But there's no really structure for me to trade here, so I'm not taking any trades on this market. And Bidu, yeah, same thing. There's nothing here for me, so I'm just gonna wait for price action to develop. Still in this, yeah, this is just insane, man. Look at this; these charts are just really crazy. And then I have these three quantum computing stocks, which I'm gonna be watching. But yeah, I don't know. I've said that a lot this episode, but it's these are weird times. And I'm just gonna, what I've said, be cautious. see what happens next week. Again, I hope I'm just way off on everything, and everything is just going to go up, and we're going to be all happy and singing Kumbaya by the fire. But I don't know, something inside of me tells me that we are going to see something really, really ugly happen. But yeah, you really can't do shit with that. So anyway, if you have not subscribed to this channel yet, I would really, really appreciate it if you could. Like this video. I think that is the least you can do. If there are markets you want me to look at, if there are charts you want me to look at, just give me a heads up and I will do so next week. It is not a problem at all. If you want to give me a compliment, you know, you always can. And yeah, man, I appreciate you guys. I will talk to you next week. Stay safe out there and have a good week. Take care.